Hey guys, Lex here, back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney. Last time we got Van Zeeks and the testimony of the three witnesses. Let's continue the trial. Order, order. Counsel, how has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it into the position where the police, myself, and my colleague saw it when investigating the room. So the papers must have been facing towards Gregson. Witness, what have you to say for yourself? What, my lord? You and your fellows were there at the scene before anyone else. It goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board. The witnesses understand will testify again. You'll each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime. Yeah, stop looking over your glasses at me. I get the message. Witness testimony. The mystery of the moving board. I don't know anything about the notice board. I was just wiping my hands on it, that's all.
Oh, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time.
I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander. I'm just a sign at the crossroads of life. Who's the Reaper, I bet. He got a face that screams bored. I can't see how this changes anything anyway. Detective still died when we heard the gunshot. So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see. Can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened.
That's right, yeah. I don't pay to expect too much.
It's a man's endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think. Do you really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody following the incident, it makes no difference. When a gunshot ran out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could possibly have committed the crime was Barak von Zeeks. None of the wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so, quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witness despite the circumstances? Nah. Oh, certainly, my lord. Very well. Then you may proceed, counsel. Cross-examination. The mystery of the moving board. What is it about those boys if I have those? So you admit it was the board you wiped your bloody hand on? Admit it? What's there to admit? It's there plain as day for all to see a smashing print of my raw hand. Perhaps you want to hide that handprint? So you righted the notice board and pushed it into the corner, did you? No. Imagine the weight of that great lump. Do I look like a powerful and well-nurtured man? Well, did you see anybody else moving the board? I've got nerves of steel, I could tell you, but even I have my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me, and the Grim Reaper himself standing over it. There was precious little light inside either. My bottom lip was all a quiver. In other words, this witness is unable to give definitive testimony on that point. Yes, so it seemed.
Well, no, look at me. I don't got a clue about it. I was just doing business with some second years at the time.
When you saw that you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks?
Yeah, what else? There's a priory school just around the corner, see? Those cheeky little so-and-sos have got a plan to blow all their school to Kingdom Come. So I've been telling on them, letting their teachers know what they're up to.
Oh, so you have?
Yeah, wouldn't want anyone to get hurt. So I let the school know that the kids are playing with dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off them. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to me to buy more. Everyone's happy, see?
Good one. What a racket.
Of course. And sometimes the teacher gives me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's a busy old life selling explosives.
Goodness is a powerful horse indeed.
Well, then there's facing lies. Kind of, I think. I'm ever so good at it.
Scary. I pressed the wrong button. Shit. That totally surprised me. I pressed the wrong button. The important point is you didn't go inside the room where the inspector was killed. Isn't that right?
Definitely not. Wouldn't have dreamed of it, would I?
Okay, back.
Hold it!
There.
Excuse me.
Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? If I say it was, could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Venus's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts, deep philosophical thoughts. Let's say there was a great liar, and that great liar said without batting an eye, "Tell barefaced lies is my kind of thing. I'm ever so good at it." Would those words of hers be a lie too, or the truth, in which case she's not a liar? Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But it seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you?
What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that, and I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set 'em off. I'll give you something to tremble about.
You have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. So, Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Don't kill me. Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Old blabbermouth and headed for the room where the gunshot seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right, the rotten liar over there. Do you mean to say that you did, in fact, betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all?
What did I tell you, eh? I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I?
Yes, you mentioned it.
Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it?
Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So, you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief.
Well, now you come to mention it. I suppose perhaps I do clearly remember climbing the stairs into the room, yeah?
Either you clearly remember it or you don't. Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this perjurous act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth.
Oh yes, my lord, of course. Maybe I did sneak along behind the gossip and have a little peek into the room where it all happened.
Hold it!
Okay. You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus?
Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice, though, I'd take everything I say with a big pinch of salt.
Alright, but you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you?
Oh, please, as if I would. I can't think of anything more terrifying.
The truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff, you know.
Did you touch anything at the scene?
Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor.
Truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. If I had to look, see if there was anything I could sell. So I did give the place a once over, but there was nothing to write home about.
Right. Now I hesitate to ask, but... You didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you?
Oh, please, as if I would touch anything like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had.
Truth, please.
Well, alright then, I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flipping thing. Sorry, flipped the blasted thing.
You're telling us that you did move the board.
I think that did slip out, didn't it?
Well, you damn burn spot. I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps, to sell?
Oh, please, I should be so lucky in my imagination.
The truth, now.
I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board, I suppose. But a junk like this can't be worth much if you ask. Ah! So it was you, was it? You're the one who took it.
Gina. Young lady, may I remind you where you are?
That watch there, that was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case he solved 10 years ago. The professor case, no doubt. Boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come up at the pub.
I see.
I swiped it off him once, and blimey was he upset. He gave me a right earful. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did.
Possibly not the best thing to go diving for, then.
It's not all that, though. I took it to Jabez that night to see how much it was worth, but the old dealer wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it. Said it wasn't working. Knocked about and worthless, he called it. Ah! I knew I should have lifted it.
That watch must be submitted as evidence at once.
Oh, please, just as long as you promise to give it back when you're done. Not a chance. I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again.
That's enough. And the watch to the bailiff forthwith. Now, children, watch your manners. Good lord. The glass appears to be broken. More than likely it shattered when the inspector was shot.
Doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jabez didn't want it. What a waste, eh?
Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5. 5. Exactly when the gunshot was heard, then.
Which supports the prosecutor's claims, of course.
No, the board fell on the watch. Well, it would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board had been shot at last. And as predicted, it had a very little bearing on the case. Oh wait, I forgot to examine it. The glass over the face really is badly cracked, look.
What a shame when Inspector clearly looked after it so carefully.
I imagine Mr. Sholmes could repair it, don't you?
Yes, I should think so.
Very adept at things like this. A useful man to have around, in fact.
But kindly remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Naruto. Not an odd job, man.
Oh! Was it part of the little policeman thing? There's a tiny little stub sticking out from the small hole here, look.
I suppose there must have been a little knob or something on that for setting the time.
In that case, see, so we know the inspector took such good care of this watch. Probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it?
Yes, of course.
Which could mean that there's a small part of this watch still at the scene. Maybe. Right here. There's a tiny little keyhole here. Can you see?
Oh yes, that's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism.
Looks a little unusual, don't you think?
Yes, be just the right key to wind it, I imagine.
Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a bit like a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole.
It would be wonderful if you had the key. Let's check carefully off what we've already found.
Yeah. Something like this. What? Oh, did I click it too early? Let me fast forward through this. Okay, and then we could examine this. Mrs. Sato, do you think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch?
Oh, yes, it could be.
Let's try it at once. There's not a moment to lose. Oh? I knew it. Perfect fit.
And look, Inspector's watch has started going again.
So it's obviously just not been wound up, that's all. What is it, Mrs. Otto?
Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, I'm feeling it could have profound implications.
She's deep in thought now. Perhaps I'd better start thinking deeply too. Yeah, I need to start thinking. Oh, it looks like she's thinking. I better start thinking too. Okay. Yeah. Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, Counsel. Wait, do I just go back? Yeah, let's just continue pressing these guys. But you did go to see what happened in the room, didn't you? Fresno Street, it's my whole world, it's all I know, and I don't know of it. I have to make it my business to know if I want to hold my sign up high. So you did go to see what happened. It's not the destination that's important, it's how you get there, isn't it? Did you notice the notice board in the room? If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the sign family. What? So if I'd sign. If I'd spotted it, I might have tried to trip it up out of sense of rivalry, I bet. Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapien, not Homo sapiens. Does that mean that you didn't notice the board? I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me, just a sign at a crossroad of life. In which case, just who was responsible for moving the notice board? It was the Reaper, I bet he had his face screen board. What exactly do you mean by that? Oh, come on now. Don't tell us you have not noticed. Looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. But not notice boards. They're the one thing he likes. You can see it in his eye. I can't say I've ever noticed. I'll tell you one thing for free though. I never took my eyes off that man on the floor. Or off the Reaper. Not for a second. Sorry? Well, I was that scared I couldn't. You never know what a feeling like that might do if you look away, do you? So you were near each other? You didn't take your eyes off the defendant. You should be able to confirm categorically whether or not he was the one who moved to the notice board. Hey, that I can't. The Reaper did nothing of the sort. I can swear to that. I couldn't have missed it. And if he had heaved that thing upright again and dragged it over into the corner. Right. Glad we cleared that up. What happened to the face that screams bored? I feel your pain, Kazuma.
Hold it!
It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it? Maybe the notice board fell over, and maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over, or maybe I didn't. But the Reaper's fate is sealed either way, because of the gunshot we all heard. Your fate's sealed too. My fate? That's right. Defense is fated to lose. And the prosecution to win.
What?
In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. So if I could just find some problem with that part of their story.
Maybe possible. Change all our fates.
Of course, none of that changes the fact that I heard what I heard, does it? Not much to go on.
As you've pointed out, Mr. Naruto, there's no question that the notice board was moved. Somebody must have done it.
But if it did happen after the event, so maybe Kazuma's right, and it's not relevant to the case.
But it seems to have been deliberately positioned as to hide the body from view. So I feel sure that there's some deeper significance to all of this.
Yes, I know what you mean.
No doubt there are more questions to be uncovered. You're on the right track, I can feel it. So follow your instincts.
Alright then. Hey, I guess my instincts tell me to... where is it? This?
Objection!
I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh. The scene. We found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key. And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it in fact still works. See, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which the entire case has been built. What? Order. But counsel. The watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock.
Yeah, which is just when we had the gunshot.
It is exactly on the hour. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing, other than when it was wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard gunshots at 5 o'clock. So it's obvious when the crime was committed.
Objection!
No, that doesn't hold. Why not? Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago.
The boss used to wind it up at every evening without fail, when he was waiting for his scrub to come at the pub. He said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did.
The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well. Yes, that would be entirely reasonable. But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day. Oh, aye.
Well, how do you explain it then?
In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't mean. What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead. Oh, shit. Order, counsel. This is a most extraordinary claim.
Objection!
Extraordinary isn't the word. It's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? You really think Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? Yes. Yes.
On that subject, there is something rather surprising. There's actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted.
Ah, that's right. Wait a minute, the feeling that my legs went from under me when I kicked the door in. What do you mean? Like I said, I planted my hand in a dirty great puddle of blood. Yes. So the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh. He catches on fast, doesn't he?
Objection!
But that blood could be explained in any number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body after he... Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner? Yes. Ah!
Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. We've been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human.
Problem is currently being researched as present. You are correct. It is beyond our abilities. So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example.
Certainly a possibility that it wasn't Inspector's blood at all.
Yeah, use Sholmes's machine gun thing.
Objection!
But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all.
Oh, please. What are you trying to say?
I thought no what we heard. It was a loud bang that came from that room. Oh, now listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood. I don't doubt your ears, sir, but all you can state with certainty is that you heard a noise. Eh? Explain yourself then, counsel. A noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with... a gun.
Take that!
Something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these to fake a gunshot. Good gracious, the very fireworks are sold by the witness.
Now, hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? My pretty little firecrackers only make a little pop anyway, see?
Not 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. Hey, did you just pay for it? As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact.
Ah!
Are you trying to suggest that somebody set one of those fireworks off at the scene? Suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day, and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection!
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gun or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Barak von Zieks.
One whiff of a match and my firecrackers go pop. See? That's why people like them.
I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection!
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb.
Good heavens, a bomb.
Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like.
Mr. Naruto, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident.
Ah, no, wait, it's the whenever you like part that is important. A time device. Yes, exactly, a time device. Something of that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left.
Your extravagant claim will have to be substantiated with evidence, counsel. What proof do you have that suggests in any way that a time device was employed to create the gunshot sound?
Oh.
Was it the watch?
Take that!
You're suggesting this could have been used as some sort of time delay device? I did think so, my lord, but it's becoming increasingly clear that we've all been misguided here.
Objection!
Yes, by you. Oh shit. What? Damn it. I was like, did I get it right? What sort of proof do you have that just a time device was employed to create the gunshot sound? Was it the revolver? What's this thing? Because I don't know what this thing is. So this is the type of revolver's standard issue.
Yes, and when I asked whether keepers kept who they're issued to, I was told that for the past 5 years they've been engraved with a unique serial number.
Oh, but as far as I can tell, there's nothing like that on this gun.
She tells us that it must have been issued longer ago than that.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure about the... Oh, why didn't I have that option to click that before? I don't see anything. Huh. What proof suggested a time device? Was it the board? No. Wasn't the candle, was it? Oh, it could have been the candle. But how? No. Firework in the candle? Maybe?
Take that!
Okay, good. Whew! As the court has already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in this candelabrum has been blown off. Indeed, because it was struck by a bullet, which presumably passed through the victim. I don't think that's possible, my lord. Yeah, there was no bullet behind it. Not possible. Why? Because of the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken candle. Oh. Goodness, yes. But is it not the case that there was also scorching on the victim around the bullet and she... Yeah, it went through and made another scorch mark on the candle with the bullet. No way. That's right, there was, but as we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when the target is at very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun. Which means that the scorching on the candle can't possibly be the result of a gunshot. You're suggesting it came from fireworks?
How could that be?
The fact that there's such a visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and the firecrackers were joined together. Yeah, like that. The culprit somehow attached the firecrackers at a point partway down the candle. After the killer had left the scene, the candle slowly burnt down along with the other two, until eventually it ignited the fuse of the firecrackers, generating a loud bang. And that is how these witnesses came to believe they'd heard a gunshot at 5 o'clock. Oh. Well, what a plot. And this implies the victim could have died earlier than we'd been led to believe, the previous day even.
Oh no. Now just hold your horses. All of us lot here saw the victim was going into the building, remember?
couldn't forget the flame-colored hair even if I wanted to. The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this.
No.
Obviously, anybody can wear a wig. The person that these witnesses saw entering the building 15 minutes before the incident occurred could easily have been someone else entirely, wearing the red hairpiece.
Someone else? Do you mean to say?
It was the same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer. Puh. Oh, very impressive, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Kazuma?
I'm really quite impressed you've come this far. But after all, wasn't I the one who told you that you had all the markings of a great defense lawyer?
Huh?
I also noted the lack of time of death in this report, a stark omission. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired.
Oh dear. Order. You talking shit? Prosecutor Sogi? What on earth do you mean by that statement?
I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today. So we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked.
Oh.
The defense's assertion about the time of death based on the victim's stopwatch is just conjecture. But, while the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore it.
Well, certainly. I would agree with you.
And what immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing and where did he go on the day before the incident? Do you know? Nah. Inspector always carried out his investigative work alone. His movements were treated as confidential within Scotland Yard.
Even within the yard.
However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I'd say it's fairly apparent what case the man was pursuing. Wouldn't you, my learned friend?
I do have a feeling about what case he might have been investigating.
Yes, I agree, surely. My lord, the defense believes it can explain to the court the case that was being investigated by Inspector Gregson at the time of his death.
Very well, counsel. Present your argument to the court. What evidence is suggestive of the case being investigated by the inspector on the day prior to the incident?
This one?
Take that!
I can't say I found your answers suggestive. Damn it. Other evidence is wrong.
What?
Congratulations, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You deserve a reward for expertise. I'm always so... I'm just Russian.
Mr. Naruhodo, there's one particular piece of evidence that really does stand out showing the case Inspector Gregson is investigating.
My lord, I need to think before I click.
Very well, counsel. What evidence?
Was it the Red-Headed League?
Take that!
I believe this red hairpiece points to the answer. I would assume it was part of a disguise used to carry out an undercover investigation.
Surely not. Surely a brightly colored hairpiece would only serve to make the inspector more noticeable.
Yes, and that's quite true. Would definitely make him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League.
The Red-Headed League?
So, you already worked it out.
What on earth is all this about? Is there such an extraordinary league of gentlemen?
See, I put the board because that paper was in the board! The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for grand deception. A deception of what nature, Counsel?
They've been targeting red-headed men all across of London and tricking them out of small sums of money. 2 men were arrested for the misdemeanor only yesterday, in fact. What? My lord, the defense calls for those 2 men to be summoned at once.
2 redheads?
Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece, so it's very likely that he had direct contact with these criminals. And it's quite possible that such contact led to more serious events.
I concur that we cannot, in good conscience, leave this new avenue unexplored.
Well done, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, it's another possible line of inquiry for us at least.
The prosecution will make immediate arrangements for the charged men to appear. Bring these 2 red-headed league conspirators before me, Prosecutor Asogi.
I already brought him. Oh, at once, my lord.
Very good. We will have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
Yeah, break time. Ooh, my voice is about to die. No, it's not. Just kidding. Alright guys, I'll leave that episode here, and next time we'll get those 2 redheads. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.